Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Leganke here, showing you how to find scale factor. Scale factor in the real world is used for a lot of different applications. It's used for architects when they're doing floor plans and designs. It's used even when you're building model trains to compare them to the real images. Or sometimes artists use scale factor when they're drawing something based off of a real image and they want to scale it down to something smaller. So maybe you've seen scale factor used before. So a quick way to find scale factor is to take the new figure in a math problem and divide it by the old. So new divided by old. Here's an example problem that you might see in this unit. The figure on the right, that's this one over here, is a scaled copy of the figure on the left. So that means this one is the original or the old one, and this one is the new one. So when I first look at it, I can see that it reduced or got smaller. The next question says, which side of the figure on the right corresponds to segment IG? So looking at the old picture, IG is this segment right here, I to G. So we can see I to G would correspond to RO. So we would type that in or there would be a drop down here, so we would write RO. And then it says, what is the scale factor? So let's see, how many units is I to G? Let me count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 units. And R to O is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So our scale factor is new to old. New to old. So the new is 4 and the old is 8. So new to old, 4 out of 8, which could simplify to 1/2. So our scale factor would be half. And that makes sense because to go from the old one to the new one, it does look like it's half the size. Let's look at another example. Okay, same question here. The figure on the right is a scaled copy of the figure on the left. So that means the one on the left is the old one, and this little one on the right is the new one. Then it says, which side of the figure on the right corresponds to ON? O to N is from here to here. So that would be the top of this little guy here. So let's count the units. O to N is 3 units long, and I to J is 1 unit long. So we would fill in here I to J on our I to J on our drop down. And then we would try to find our scale factor. To find scale factor, it's new divided by old. So the new unit is 1, the old unit is 3, and we can keep our scale factor as a simplified fraction, 1 to 3. Okay, another question. It says the scale copy, the one on the right is a copy of the figure on the left. That means the one on the left here, this one is the old, that's the original one, and this one is the new. So now you can see this one enlarged and got bigger. Let's take a look and see what the question's asking. Which side of the figure on the right corresponds to SR? Okay, so S to R is here to here. And it kind of looks like this one got turned around. So if I imagine this kind of flipping back into place, I would say that S to R corresponds with C to D. So we have to flip that one to make sure that it would match up. Now let's find the scale factor. Oh man, it's hard to count on a diagonal. So what I would look for here is a really good line that's easy to read. I can see right here Q to S is 2 units, and that would match up with C to E, which is 3 units. Yeah, that would match up. Okay, so now let's do our formula, new to old. So in this case, it's 3 to 2 for our scale factor. And that's what we would look for a drop down and type that in there. Okay, so be careful if your images are flipped around. Use the same formula and same strategy though. Okay, now this one we don't have a grid, but we do have some nice neat numbers to look at. It says the triangle on the right is the copy. So this one is the copy. This means this one is the new one. So that makes that one the old one. Now we're going to identify the scale factor. So again, using that same new to old idea, we're going to take a new side and divide it by the old side. So I'm going to go with this 45 right here would match up with 15. So our new to old would be 45 over 15, and 45 divided by 15, that would simplify to 3. So our scale factor would be 3. And it says, yeah, we can express it as a whole number. So you can see it got bigger. That means that this figure got 3 times bigger. Okay, let's try one that looks a little more tricky here because I see some fractions. Let's see, the right triangle on the right is a copy of the one on the left. Okay, so that means this one is new. So this is the old one. And it says identify the scale factor, and we either want a whole number or a fraction. So I have to imagine turning this one, and I can use 6 paired with 4 and do our new to old. So 6 to 4, and it says a whole number or a fraction in simplest form. I don't want to change it to a decimal or anything. 6 out of 4, if I cut that in half, would simplify to 3 over 2. And notice, like, I avoided using this fraction because that looks a little odd to me to use. Let me show you how that looks though. If we did new to old on with the fraction, 9 to 2 divided by 3, that looks a bit odd. Dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by a third. So we would do 9 over 2 times a third, and then we would be able to simplify. Let me get the proper thing. This would become 1, and this becomes 3. So that still would give us the same answer as 3 over 2. So if you get a fraction as one of your side lengths, I mean, look at what's going to make your life a little easier, and I would start with that. And again, just remember new divided by old when we're doing any of these problems. Okay, so quick recap. How do we find scale factor? Look at your new side length, divide it by your old side length. You can keep your answer as a fraction.